Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about World of Warcraft and commentating over my Terraria gameplay. More specifically, we're going to be talking about the new expansion, World of Warcraft Midnight, and why I have chosen not to purchase this expansion. I'm going to break my reasoning down into 3 categories. The first is going to be gear, the second is going to be leveling, and the third is going to be the repetitive nature of the game. I'm also going to be talking about some positives, like the housing system, which I think is an amazing thing they've added into the game, and it does look amazing from what I've seen. But I just don't think it's enough to bring me, as a player who chose to quit the game, back to the game. And I'll explain that. Right now in Terraria we're farming Souls of Might, Souls of Flight. To get some wings, we managed to get a giant harpy feather. And we will be going back and crafting not the harpy wings, but the Chippy's cloak, which you get from a new boss that spawns in easy mode, or normal mode, whatever you want to call it. My first problem with World of Warcraft, it's been a huge problem of mine for 10 years. Legion was the first expansion that did this, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's gear scaling when new patches come out. Not expansions, patches. So the first patch comes out and everyone rushes to do mythic dungeons, they do heroics, getting ready for the raid. You wanna get the best gear straight away, and I did this for Battle for Azeroth, and I did this for Shadowlands. I grinded mythic dungeons, mythic zeros with my guild, just to get some decent gear at the beginning of the expansion. In Battle for Azeroth, I remember having mythic gear and taking like a month or 2 break, and the second patch came out and I came back and my gear was worse than leveling gear, and it demoralizes you as a player to know that you put so much time into getting this high level, and now you can do quests and get better gear and better weapons, do more damage. You just have to do the quests, and I know it's to keep the game fresh, to keep you wanting to do them dungeons, but particularly I don't want to do them dungeons again. It's sometimes fun to do a quick dungeon, especially Mythic Plus. I thought that was an amazing addition to the game, but quest gear being better than Mythic, and it's just, I don't know, it really puts you off. It puts me off anyway. Here's our first attempt at the Destroyer. I don't think I make this run, so we're just going to pass. If you see this dragon, that dragon's really messing me up. Yeah, so the gear progression in the game I've always liked. You know, normal, you've got quests, then dungeon, LFR, normal, heroic, mythic. And then Mythic Plus, I suppose, gives you the same gear as Mythic grades, like Mythic 15s or whatever. And it's fun to get all the gear, but yeah, the patches, every time a patch comes out, you have quests that give, that just scale the gear. This also makes previous raids obsolete. Like I remember, by the end of Legion, I think you were getting equivalent gear to like Mythic Emerald Nightmare, I believe, or maybe even Nighthold level gear. So if I were ever going to come back to WoW, I'd probably wait till the last patch so I didn't have to deal with that. That's what I did for Dragonflight. I waited until the last patch or 2, and then I did some raids, and yeah, and I chose to quit the game after Dragonflight, because I don't think War Within was going to add anything that would change what I disliked about the game. And the gear scaling was one of them. Okay, let's watch this fight. I think we kill this guy. And while talking about World of Warcraft, I love World of Warcraft, by the way. I don't hate the game. I love the game. I think it's one of the best games ever made. I think the community's it's dying, but I think it's an amazing community. I like the people I used to play with. I liked the new players I've talked to, you know, helping new players out. I always liked the game. I introduced so many people to World of Warcraft, probably 8, 9, 10 people. and they all loved the game. But they couldn't get into it like I got into it. There we go, we killed the destroyer, and then that bloody dragon's back. But yeah, they never got into it like I got into it. Here's Chippy's cloak here. We need hollowed bars, so we got that. We're gonna get the Durindal here as well. We'll probably reforge that, try and get legendary on it. But yeah, my friends could never get into it like I did, and I think it was because when I'd play with my friends, the most enjoyment we'd get is like leveling together, playing together, obviously, and doing a few dungeons. But going through like the zones, finding rare mobs, just playing the game with your friends was always really fun, and that was what we did when I played it with my like real life friends, and we had a lot of fun with it. I earned Blizzard quite a bit of money. Everyone bought subs. Some people refreshed the sub more than others. But yeah, having my friends play with me through the leveling and doing some of the content. They never bought the expansions, but I think one of the times we played together, it was like at the end of one of the cycles, so you get it for free. And the last patch you always get for free, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we could play some of the new content in, I think that was Shadowlands quite a while ago. But yeah, the most enjoyment we got was leveling, but the problem, this brings me into problem 2 that I have, is the leveling is way too short and way too meaningless when you get to the newest zone, the newest expansion. I remember a time when it would take quite a while, like, because I started playing in Mists of Pandaria, which was like the beginning of the end, I think a lot of people say, maybe Cataclysm people say it, but Mists was different, and Mists still had, to me, a good leveling experience. I liked Mists. It took me, I was a kid when I played it, but like it took me ages to level, and when I got to level 90 in Mists of Pandaria, it felt like an achievement. It felt like I'd accomplished something. But playing the game in its modern form, you rush through the leveling, and before you even know it, you're max level, you're in the new zone, you're doing the new content, and you don't even have to think about the other expansions. There's never a time where I don't even think it mentions the lore of like the other expansions. It's like a sitcom where each episode ends with the beginning, and you don't have to think about what you just did for the last 2 hours or whatever to level to. I don't even know what the max level is anymore. 90, 100, maybe. I think Shadowlands was 70. Dragonflight was 80, I think, so maybe 90. I don't know, depends. We're farming Queen Slime here to get the Blade Staff. It's a big upgrade at this part of the game. I'm still using the Spider Staff. And the Durindal's coming in handy though. I keep thinking that the Fire Whip's really good at this part of the game, but it's not. It's terrible. If you look at the DPS meter, when I use the Durindal, it goes up to 500-600. When I use the Fire Whip, it's like 300. At this part it's not, because my spiders can't reach, but when the spiders actually go on it does. So yeah, we've talked a bit about the leveling, and I want to say that I don't think you can fix the leveling in WoW. I think there's too much content. If you asked a player to go through every single expansion just to get to the newest content, no one would play. Or everyone would buy boosts, because there's so much. World of Warcraft came out in 2003, I'm pretty sure, meaning it's 23 years old. I remember the 20th anniversary event and thinking, shucks, this game's old. 23 years, I'm pretty sure WoW's been going for now. It's an old game. See, that boss was very easy. And with age comes content, and there's so much content available in the game now, where you have like 100 different zones, over 100 zones or whatever, where you can quest through. And in the old expansions, you'd go through all them. Then they added Chromie, where you can skip expansions you don't like, or just level in an expansion that you do like, which I don't mind, but you do miss out on a lot of them leveling zones that do have interesting things. I always disliked when I played Burning Crusade Classic. I never got to play it because I was too young when that game came out, but when I played Classic Burning Crusade, I hated that first zone and that hatred. I don't know if it's just me, but the I can't remember what it's even called, the Badlands or whatever. No, Ragefire Peninsula, I think. Yeah, Ragefire Peninsula. I hated that zone. I thought it was difficult. I thought it was long. The quests are really spread out. But I have that memory of playing through that zone, and a lot of people who play the game now, unless they play Classic, will never get to experience a zone that they dislike because they can choose. Oh, I don't like this zone. I don't like the was it the I can't remember the fucking names of any zones anymore. Because there's so many in the game. But there's zones that I really like. I like the Jade Forest, the Mr. Pandaria. I do really like, maybe it's because of nostalgia, I do really like Mr. Pandaria. And it's a shame that when you play through the game now, you can't even finish the Mr. Pandaria story without leveling up to max. I think that's a travesty. But at the same time, I understand why they do it. Yeah, so that's about leveling. I don't think they can fix it, and I don't like it, and it's not going to be fixed in midnight, obviously. The third thing that I brought up earlier was the repetitiveness of the game, and obviously it's an MMO, everything's repetitive, everything's grindy, but I mean just like, I look at the trailers and it just looks like the same stuff they've done before. I think the zones are cool and whatever, but they've done everything they can't do anymore because they've done everything. I feel like they've done everything in the game, and as much as I enjoyed the end of Dragonflight, I didn't buy War Within. I didn't care for it. I liked the trailer. I thought the trailer was cool. If you see here, I died to Skeletron. What a travesty. And I think right now I find a huge dragon egg, which is the new mount. And talking about mounts, that's the other thing, is the mounts. There's so many mounts, and every single mount now, when you see a cool mount, you know that there's going to be 36 reskins of this mount. I think the first time I remember seeing it was Warlords of Draenor with the pig. There was like 50 pigs you could get in the game. You could get a pig from this vendor, you could do a quest, you got a pig, do an achievement, you got a pig. You're getting pigs everywhere, and now I see these cool mounts and I'm like, oh, that's sick. And then like 2 weeks later there's a reskin of it. I remember the Charger came out in Shadowlands, like the Ghostly Charger or whatever. It's like the ghost horse with the armor. I thought that was sick. And then there's 3 variants of it. There's an achievement version you can get really easily. There's the rare that runs around, and then there's the drop from whatever the raid's called. But yeah, I see the trailer and I'm like, whoa, these mounts are cool. And then I watch a Sylar video, shout out Sylar. I watch a Sylar video and it's like 30, there's like 3 reskins of every single thing. You like the new moth mounts, they're really cool. Oh, luckily for you, there's 6 different variants that you can get. Yeah, anyway, enough of that. We've got 2 minutes left on this video. I'm fighting Skeletron now. Let's talk about positives. I'm happy for the World of Warcraft community that they're getting player housing. I've seen what people can do in Final Fantasy, and I've seen what people can do in Guild Wars. And player housing is always very cool, especially when you give people as much freedom as they seem to have given in World of Warcraft, with the ability to like change how your house looks, with the floors and the. There seems like there's not really many limitations apart from like assets, obviously. You have to grind for all them assets as well. But yeah, I think that's a really cool thing, and I hope for the WoW players you enjoy World of Warcraft Midnight. I really do, because I love WoW, and I hope that there's still people out there who don't hate the game. I don't want people to hate the game, I want them to love the game. I want them to play the game. We've beat Skeletron. Was that the last boss? No, it wasn't. I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. I forgot to record this boss, so I had to do it again. But luckily it's only the twins, and the twins is the easiest boss out of all 3. If you see there was a slight blunder. I accidentally teleported back home, but nah, not too big of a mistake. I still beat this boss in the end. Okay, we talked about WoW. Love WoW. I hope people are still enjoying the game and not just playing it to hate. I hope you make the game as good as possible. Because I've played that game for ages. I play Guild Wars now, and yeah, it's Guild Wars and other games because I enjoy them a lot more. But that's just me, and it's okay to still like WoW. Anyway, 40 seconds left, and we've finished talking about WoW. That's good. Last episode, I had to end it on a very quickly my AI video. I rewatched it and I'm happy with it. It's not like the best thing I've ever done. I don't think these freestyle videos are, but yeah, it's okay. I still enjoy doing them, and I hope you enjoyed watching. If you've watched till the end, I'm very thankful. Leave a like, subscribe. There'll be more of these. Let's see this legendary. No, it'll be Fabled, the new enchant, of course. And yeah, we got it. So yeah, see you.